Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph, last line. Tanur Rabbanan, right? That says, Al tikach me'ito neshech v'tarbit. You shall not take from a Jew rebit. But it sounds like you can make him into a guarantor, right? Even though there's interest involved. So the Gemara says, who's he guaranteeing for? Ilim Arab Israel, saying he's guaranteeing to the lender who's a Jew. But Mishnah says, these people who have lotase regarding interest. We see clearly that the Arab is included into the list of people who are over. So the Gemara says, it's referring to where the guy is a guarantor to a non-Jewish lender. But since, one second, since the non-Jewish halakha says the azil batar arva, the lender could go directly to the guarantor versus going to the borrower first, and the guarantor must pay the $120 interest. It sounds like that he's able to take interest from him, which should be asur. No, it's referring to where the goy is agreeing to go to Bet Din of Israel, and therefore he'd be able to go to the borrower and not to the guarantor. And the Gemara says, if you're going to Bet Din, then you can't take the beat. The Gemara says, no, he agreed to go to the halacha, Bet Din's halacha regarding who to take money from, yani the borrower, not the guarantor. But he still wants his interest. Next part of the Mishnah said, a Jew can lend out a goy's money with the Gentile's consent. Okay, but he can't do it with a Jew's consent. What's the case? So if a Jew borrowed from John Smith, a goy, on repeat, now he wants to give it back to him. Another Jew met that first Jew and says to him, I'll give it to me, and I will cover for you. I'll keep the loan at your loan. You have a great interest rate. Pass me over the loan. I'll fill in whatever's left and I'll pass it along. However long I have it. Asur, that's asur. But if let's say the first borrower brought the second borrower to the goy, mutar, that's mutar. Because that's like saying, okay, I'm done here. Now he's doing his own loan with you. Additionally, right? So basically, the second way seems like to be like a shliach of the goy. So similarly, if a goy lent money to Ma'ot Me Yisrael Berbit, but the goy borrowed money from a Jew on interest because he wants to return it back to him. And so Yisrael Acher Be'amalon. Now another Jew met the goy and says to him, give it to me, and I'll pay off for you with interest. Same way you're doing for him. Mutar, that's mutar. I'll explain why. But if the guy first came to the Jew, Yani brought the Jew and said, okay, the Jew's taking this Jew's taking over my loan. John Smith says to the Jewish lender, asur as asur. So the Gemara says, Bishlam, if I makes in the second half, the Humrah, we're strict that the guy cannot be the shliach. That the non-Jewish borrower is a shliach of the lender, and therefore transfer the loan. You're transferring the loan to a goy, to another Jew rather, and therefore it's asur because it's rebit. Aval in the first half, how come it's mutar when the second Jew, the second borrower, is being the lender, is being the shliach of the lender? Since we have there's no shlichut by a goy, Ihu knew the kashakil min ribitas, and the first borrower is taking the interest from the second borrower. No, it's not shlichut. Rather, he's saying put it down on the floor, and therefore, Yana, you're paying it off, and we're starting new. So the said, that's the case. It was a chidush. The goy himself took it from the first guy and passed it to the second guy. Same question. That's the chidush. It's a new loan. Mar says no. When you might think that maybe since the goy himself, when he's doing this, if he's doing it from one Jew to the next, then therefore should be asur. Kamashlan is mutar. Ravashi says different answer. When do we say that no shliach, a goy cannot be a shliach? Only by truma. But all other times of the Torah, a goy can be a shliach. But we don't know Ravashi. Ravashi was incorrect. Why is he incorrect? Because Tirumah does not work. Why? Because it's a pasuk. Dechtiv atem gam atem. The pasuk says you shall separate. Ma atem bnei like you are Jewish. After Chachem naim the rate also not also your shliach. If you wanted your shliach to separate, your shliach also has to be Jewish. We had this previously in the beginning of the Mesiah, I believe. So shlichut kochot rakulanami. B'Tirumah gamrin we learned shlichut from Tirumah to teach you that the goyim are not also shlichim anywhere else. Therefore, we prove here from Rashi is not correct, saying that he can be a shliach elsewhere. Ik heb daar een different version. Maar als je kiem nu dan is die goed en when we say there's no shlichut by a goy hanimil in who done. That's referring to them become a shliach for us. Aber anan who having no shliach, but we can be a shliach for the goyim. Like when it says, and it's mistaken because Mashna in who done lo. How come they can't be a shliach for us? To see Vatim Gamatim that about Shachem Matim Brit after Shachem Brit we learn from Truma. Usually have to be Jewish. And on the Dunami, so too vice versa. If we want to be a shliach for them, Matim Bnei Brit Kamar. Rav Ashi is also the same mood, saying that we can't be a goy shliach, and therefore Rav Ashi was mistaken. Ravina has a different answer. Okay, maybe there's no shlichut per se, but there should be a different method. He does have a power of zichiyah, being zoche for someone. Now we had this case with this concept previously. If I pick up an item on the floor, or someone hands me an item to be koneh for someone else, it works. Katan, just like it works for a katan. A katan can't be a shliach. Katan, shliach. Just like a katan doesn't have a shliach. It lezichiyah midrabanan. He has zechut midrabanan to be koneh for someone else. Hachanami lashna, so the version be different. Mar says v'lo it's not case. It's not true. Yisrael ati lechlan shlichut. Zechiyah works by a katan because eventually he'll have the power of shlichut when he gets older. When he's 13. Akum lo ati lechlan, but a goy does not. Okay, turn over down. Very interesting concept. Yisrael if a Jew borrowed money from a goy on interest, and then he says, you know what? All the money that you owe me will be considered a loan. Then he became a Jew. Oh, repeat. If he made it a loan before he converted, he connects everything because it's just a new loan. After he converted, he changed into a loan. He can't collect the rebit because it was too late. They were charging him rebit as a Jew. Also, too, regarding a goy who borrowed money from a Jew on interest, was going to be that the Jewish guy made it into a loan. And the guy converted. If the guy made it into a loan before he converted, he collect both. Once if he converted while it was still a interest loan, yani before a regular loan, then it is asur. He always has to pay the interest included, not doesn't make a difference when it happened. Why? Like him. Why? We don't want people to think that he converted just to avoid the debt of paying of interest. Very interesting concept. But it sounds like otherwise it would be a chayat. A document that has rebit on it, consinoto. We can penalize the lender. He cannot collect the principal or the interest. Big chidush. You lend $100, you say you have to pay me $105 back. Betin intervenes, says, nope, no loan, no principal, nothing, no interest. You collect the main, but not the rebate. You can penalize people something that they did wrong, and even penalize something on the mutar part. So they did something wrong with good, they could penalize everything, they could basically confiscate everything. You cannot go that far. Predated shtarim, if you predated a shtar, it's pasul. But post-dated are mutar. So muktamin amai pasulin. Why do we say predated are asur? The reason is because we don't want people to collect. If it's predated, let's say you borrowed in May, but really the loan happened in. But you're writing it. You borrowed in May, but the loan you're writing the loan happened in January. We don't want the guy to be able to collect on properties that were sold in between January and May, because that when the guy borrowed that money, he didn't. When the guy dealt with him, when the guy bought that field, there was no loan at the time. He didn't know about it. Now you're predating it. So now, if someone wants to collect the loan, they could get this property that he sold between January and May, even though the guy bought it without a loan at the time. That's not fair. So the Gemara said, okay, maybe why should be asur? Maybe let the guy collect only from the second date. Yani, if we know what happened in May, let him collect from May, not from January. That's the machloket. But Meir, it's a point to the Meir who holds that you couldn't your kanas on everything, and that's why you can't even collect from the second date. It's a complete pasul shtar. Rabbi Yochanan says, we can even answer according to Hachamim's view. who says that usually you don't knas everything, you should let the second half basically. But how come over here we don't let? We're afraid that the guy will sneak it through and be able to collect from the first date, stuff from January. We don't want that to happen. So as a protection, we don't allow it.